Boo. Welcome to the Sunday stream, July 2nd, 2023. It's 12:53 p.m. I'm kind of late today. I'm sorry about that. I was goofing around looking at CD Romance. Welcome to Raven, Bagel, Emily, Caladon, Mika, Monday, Okay Guy, Mooware, and Bep. Happy birthday, Graffy. It's not my birthday. Not even close. That was like 2 months ago. I'm so sleepy. Stream sponsored by NeoCities. Yeah, I was just plugging my website because, I don't know, probably everybody's already aware that Twitter barely fucking works at this point. Hi, Marigold. How you doing? Let's just take a nap for an hour. Yeah. We have one gigantic bed that we can all take a nap on so that nobody has to lay on the floor. Yes. I was watching Holly, heck maybe catching up on the parts that I didn't see of Fix the Adventure for the PlayStation 1, which was extremely entertaining. Switch category to I'm only sleeping. Yeah, like Charlie Bucket's grandparents. No, why do you always reference this? Did you enjoy the MRI? I don't think I got to that part. She was on a level with lily pads when I left off to go start the stream. You're in for a treat, I see. Don't miss the rest of that VOD. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. Her perseverance with that one level with the 2 magnet points that were over like a pit that kills you instantly, and then when you die you have to walk all the way back and it takes like a full minute to get there. I was amazed. That was pretty great. I scrambled to find something to play last night, and I found this game, the Hysteria Project for the PSP, when I was browsing through the Spanish language PSP ROMs section of CD Romance, and I was like, this seems like I could stream this. It doesn't look like it's very good. It seems like it's kind of probably going to be really mid and not very good, but I don't know. Might as well. I'm interested in the idea of an FMV game on the PSP. Why would you do that? FMV, the ship had sailed like years ago. But I'm glad somebody did it. Hi, Arya. Welcome. And then after that, we're gonna play Devo presents Adventures of the Smart Patrol, which is I think like one of the most like poorly reviewed games for like Windows 3.1. I'll FM your V. That's nothing. Devo, the band? Yeah. This is going to be a miasma stream. It's gonna aggravate my asthma. Yeah, I don't have asthma though, actually, though. Hello, Koja. Thank you for the stretch and hydrate. Did I already greet you, Mooware? Seen that Devo game? I've sat down to play it a little bit. And I was like, man, this looks like a huge headache. And, like, it has a bunch of copyright music in it, so probably the VOD's gonna get muted. Hey, Augersley. So excited for the Water Horse for PS2. I don't know if I can play that game, Augersley. I did like the intense music for that little guy shuffling around, though. Oh, Neo Zero. Screw Project Hernia or whatever. Show me the Devo game. Man, we will get there. Don't worry. Hello, Halcyon vibes. Full motion vor. Now we're talking. I don't think anyone should. It's too scary. Scary. Like how you said that the apples falling down was scary. I guess it was a bit eerie. Bands love to make Windows 3.1 games. Yeah, there's the Residence games for Windows 3.1 that I'd like to get to eventually. I did get that working, but it had some audio problems, but maybe I could fix that somehow. A Scum VM dev streams when he's testing unsupported games, and this was one of them. Oh yeah, because they were adding Macromedia Director support to Scum VM, right? I heard the Resonance game is actually pretty good. It seems really interesting. The Resonance are super hit and miss for me. So I kind of like, I was like, I don't know if I really want to stream this. Like, sometimes the Residents are like fucking on fire, and sometimes it's just like, could you please get anybody but this guy with the stupid old man voice to do the singing on these songs? Every song the guy is just like, and then I can hear like the music that I actually want to hear in the background under his old man voice, where he just sounds like he's like a wrinkly old man mask that is melting in real time. It is something, it is only something an extra-dimensional being would think of. The water horse? The apples falling down? You know, I guess so. When you think about like how people conceptualize the idea of like two-dimensional shapes as being like cross-sections of 3D objects that are passing through the second dimension. And you think about how three-dimensional objects are just cross-sections of objects that are passing through the third dimension and are four-dimensional. I guess maybe you could think of that. They can only conceive of just these apples like falling down over and over into that water, and then they don't go anywhere. They've got access to some other means to get those apples in and out of that water tub. I don't think this makes any sense to anyone, not even to me. Into the tiny barrel. Yeah. The asterisk barrel. It's not my birthday. Seeing apples as Flatlanders would see them. They must be very excited about that. Though, you have to wonder how do Flatlanders even perceive that? Like, where is their sensory apparatus? How do they, like, sense the world? Awu? Oh, my lung capacity is so bad. Just like real flatworms, but only a little bit flatter. Oh. Don't apples float? I guess they do.
We are Go Kitty birthday. We are so happy that it is your day.
It's not my day! I guess it's Big Sister Sunday. That is my day in a way. Can you turn off BGM and Awu again, please? You would have me turn off Parasite Eve Out of Phase Extended for any reason. No. No! Very good, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Graphite, I feel quite physically sick. I hope this stream will make it worse. I feel like the PSP game might not be interesting enough to affect your sickness one way or the other. I'm sorry. Very wonderful, but it would have been great if you had just said Awu and moved on. I thought you were going to do that. Why? Why would you ever think I would do that? Magico. Yeah, I have dough-like consistency. I'm soft and pliable. Oh, we're going for boring gaming. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be boring. Also, speaking of... I don't know why I said speaking of. This doesn't have anything to do with anything. I gotta go get my controller. Hold on a second, you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Sit tight, okay? Don't go anywhere. Get my controller. Guys, you didn't leave, did you? Are you still there? You guys still there? You still here? Hi. I'm back. For a laugh. It would have been very funny. I bet that Devo will make you really sick though, Emily. Like, I think that it will give you like an extra illness that will synergize with whatever sickness you're feeling right now. Where did she go? It's okay. I'm just playing peekaboo. Teacher left early. It's time to go. Why am I the teacher? I thought you were gonna be a teacher. I was really excited for Devo. Listen, this game, Hysteria Project, is probably like less than 2 hours long, so it won't take long for us to get to Devo. Don't worry. And if it's really shitty and not even interesting, then we'll just go on to Devo. Yay, wahoo, yipe! That's not the lore anymore! I know, I just like to bring it up because I know that you'll react like that. Gotcha. Angelly holding head emotes, I know. This is the reaction I was hoping for. I'll be the teacher. I believe in you, 8 lives. Yeah. How you doing? Welcome in. Maybe I should say yipey instead of yipe. You are a demon bastard! Maybe a little bit. I really wish I had hand tracking. I wish you guys could see when I'm gesturing. I'm not actually gesturing right now, I'm just sitting here with my hand on the desk. It's not my birthday! It's not my birthday! No, it isn't my fucking birthday! Right? I do that all the time. Gesturing? Yeah, we need to see when you're pointing at your TV. Yes, now I can finally make it a rainy day recess so we can play that board game I always see on the shelf but never get to use. Oh. It's not my birthday! Ah! I am pointing 75% of the time. Hey, Benji. It's not my birthday. I'm gonna crack y'all's heads open. Alright, PSP. I don't think I even have PSP set up on OBS. Do I? Do I have a capture for it somewhere? A PPP. Okay. Let's get that down here. I hope that this all works okay. Please. Please. So you can make it so that the PSP works for me, you guys. Please. Please. I gotta map my controls, I'm sorry. Wait, I thought that I got it right though. No, it all works. Okay. Back. Okay. Oh, it's huge. I'm not actually that familiar with the PSP. I've mostly only played Ridge Racer, which is awesome. The legendary Ridge Racer! Obviously always soy face pointing. Point face soying. Celebrate the streamer's birthday every month except for May. My birthday's not even in May! Still thinking about the iconic Augersley Flash rant stream. Look, bulky picks. Try a game. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Sanuk Games. Isn't Sanuk like a... make flip-flops? Maybe it's a different company. For a better gaming experience, we recommend the use of a headset. Wow. This is it. Hysteria Project. Why is there like no audio? Oh, okay, there it is. There is no save data. The save data will be created. You don't even get a choice. Oh, that's some piercing sound effects right there. Oh, this is worse than I was expecting. It seems like a Flash game, practically. Ridge Racer! Patchwork Heroes? I've not heard of that. All the stuff in this game happened to me. I have a PSP. It's the newest console I own, and I think the only one I got while I was getting new games. It seems like a great system. I just haven't really explored it too much. I want to play the Joan of Arc game on it. It's like a strategy RPG. There's also some game called like Class of Heroes or something. PSP is very good. It's very cute. Mostly played RPGs and emulated GBA games. It's really cool and very boring, really? Like, boring positive or negative? I did not rant about the Flash, I merely divulged information. Alright, let's start. New game. Oh, that's awful. That sound effect is horrible. This came out in 2010? How's the volume? I guess we'll find out when the game starts to pick up. This editing somehow reminds me of like CSI. This heartbeat sounds like someone like squeezing a plastic water bottle. Wish I still had my old folder of PSP ISOs. I could make some hot wrecks. We could look inside the room or undo the duct tape and run. What do you think, chat? Are we gonna make a poll for every choice in this game? Wasn't the Vita out by 2010? I don't know. Is it loud enough also? Yeah, let's make this game 6 hours long. Okay, maybe I think we should trust Graphy's intuition. Okay. Could be louder. All right, I'll turn it up a bit. Maybe do a poll if there's controversy and you can't decide. I'd like to look around inside the room. I'm not in a hurry to get this tape off me. It doesn't bother me much. Actually, you know, I do like to wiggle around a lot, so maybe being tied up would bother me. I'm not sure. Yep, we are looking around. We didn't see... Just look again. Just look around again. Play the same video, please. Is this really just the same video? Hear that music? It seems really quiet. Look one last time. Oh, okay. We died because we looked directly into the sunlight. You didn't manage to escape. The last thing you see is a creepy, shadowy figure slip into the room before an axe splits your skull. Oh no. They didn't even show that? This seems pretty funny. You have a migraine and the light was too blinding. I've had that one happen before. This is Slender Man, the 8 pages core. This is just like the pit and the pendulum? Let's undo the duct tape and run. I think there's QuickTime events in this game. Oh yeah, there they are. Oh. That sound effect is really bad. Let's look for sharp objects. This looks like something Super Great Friend would have covered in the last days of X-Blig. Yeah, wasn't there's that guy who made all those FMV games? There was Claudio Battiato, who made those horror FMV games for Xbox Live. And there was also that guy who made those like Five Nights at Freddy's type of games that were just made of like pictures of his house. And there was like the monster was like a guy in just like a wolf mask or something. Yeah, Claudio Battiato, the Prince of Terror, who made FMV horror games where if you did all the QuickTime events correctly, nothing scary would happen. So it was just like, the people would go into the house and just kind of like look around and then nothing would happen and then they left. Which is really funny. This was originally an iOS game? Oh, we're sprinting. Oh, okay, we won that section, I suppose. It's so, like, compressed. Why does it look like that? What do you record this on? I think this might have been a downloadable game. Oh no! The Axeman. Because PSP. Yeah, but the PSP had excerpts from, let's go right. From, like, you could buy a UMD with a bunch of Metallica songs on it. And interviews. It's a small disc, it can store a lot of data. They're less than 2 gigs? That's a PlayStation Mini. Let's go right again, we only have a few seconds to decide. is indeed a downloadable game from the store. Video is huge. Not at this resolution. And look at how it's so... You can't tell anything that is happening. This is like you were watching a stream at like 60 kbps or something. What are you doing? What? Where are you going? Are you hiding? The guy was like right there. How could he not have seen us hide? What? That worked? Are you fucking serious? Trying to escape from the bitrate dimension. This is what it feels like. Played a bunch of the PlayStation Mini action and RPG games. Are there any good ones? Axe murderers lack object permanence. It must be. Oh man. This game is pretty funny. You know, we'll stay on our hiding place without moving a muscle. We are gray rocking, as they say, next to this gray rock. What's with the fisheye effect? Oh no! Game over. You try and see where the killer is, but when you turn around, an axe splits your skull before you can even jump. Before you can even jump? Alright. We will quietly move to another hiding place. Is So I Married an Axe Murderer? Is that a good movie? I always wanted to watch it when I was little, but I was like, this sounds too scary. Even though it's a comedy movie. Oh, what? Okay, we didn't even get like a cutscene or anything. The snapping twigs give away your position. The last thing you see is someone running towards you with an axe. Oh no. We got axe murdered again. An axe sucks your balls. It's goofy. I liked it. I remember seeing that and Scrooged like a lot when I was a kid. Like seeing them around, I never watched them. The streamer is in the titular hysterics. Yeah, I'm a hysterical woman. This came out on PS3. There were a couple of God of War clones and a twin-stick shooter ones. They weren't that good. Oh, that was a bummer. This is so cool. Just like Wirehead. What? An axe jerks you off silly style. Funny, goofy style. I wish that the QuickTime event prompts, like, were positioned such that, like, I could kind of tell what I'm supposed to press without having to look at them. It seems just kind of, like, random. I bet that on... Oh, I messed up again. I bet that on iOS, you, had to just tap on the screen at these spots. All of my Shenmue play didn't prepare me for this. That's Rayman who's killing you. What? What? Okay. I'm not gonna mess up this time. I'm so scared. This music is really funny.
Don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, hacks.
I'm doing my best. Oh, we did it. Thank you, Snowy Arya, for 15 months. I do appreciate it. Wow! H. The Hentai Project. What? What's going on? Okay. What was the meaning of that? Oh. Yeah, this game does have a sequel. What? Tripwire bombs? What? Why wouldn't you put these, like, near the cabin that you were keeping the person in? Oh, we gotta fail one of these, right? I'm just gonna let it fail. I want to see what happens. You feel that one of your clothes has become snagged on one of those fiendish traps just before an explosion blows you to smithereens. Yeah, one of my clothes. Might as well have a little touch, you know, it's my choice. Because it's French? This is a French game? Reminds me of that horror FMV game from the devs of The Town with No Name. What? Imagine buying this full price for PS3. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you'd try and get some enjoyment out of it. Betrayed by one of our own clothes. The thing that we always fear. That the things that we rely on day to day for warmth and shelter, that we keep so close to our bodies, will betray us by getting snagged on tripwires and blowing us up. Really, like, getting up close to that. Just like, here, in case you can't tell with the completely abominable bitrate, this is what we're trying to avoid here. I kind of admire this, like, extremely low budget, kind of like just making an FMV game at all costs. Or rather, at no cost. The beeping sounds so funny. What are you doing, man? Why are we even getting button prompts? We weren't doing anything, we're just standing there. Oh, wow, what a nice nook. I'd love to crawl in there. Okay, we did it. It's just going straight into the next damn segment. Now I'm gonna have to do more QuickTime events. I want another binary choice so I can read chat. We've been marked by the Hysteria Project. Whatever that is. Tree. I have 7 seconds to do what? Okay, right, left, right, right. From the top? Maybe? Am I supposed to do something? Wait, right? Let's just see what happens if we go the wrong way. If we go the wrong way. Oh, Laura K. How you doing? Whatever video codec this is, it's like nostalgic. It reminds me of Assassin's Creed in real life videos on YouTube. Like parkour? Skink behavior. Yeah, maybe a little bit. One of your clothes is so funny phrase. I do like it. It's very funny. Huh? Okay, maybe I have to go through all 4 choices. I'm looking and I think that maybe actually 99% of good PSP games are on something else too by now. That's fine. I mean, you could still play them on PSP emulator. Huh? Yeah? What? Football. We're playing football in the woods. I'm guessing you get killed. Yeah, what if I want that? It's from the base of the tree to the tip, so you might be going the right way? Oh. How many of these have we done so far? Let that timer run out? That's maybe a good idea. I bet filming this was so fun. I want to climb around a bunch of tripwires in the woods. Yeah, and lay down on the leaves. How? The bitrate is like what early graphite streams were like. Yeah, when I was running at like 2000 kbps or something. I'm just gonna let the timer run out. Game over. Okay. You get the strange feeling that you've gone in the wrong direction and are completely lost. You carry on running until the last thing you see is a shadowy figure step out from behind a tree. I guess we just were insta-jibbed psychically by the shadowy figure. The axe did not split our skull. A shadowy figure stepped out and we died immediately from fear, maybe. You run wrong and then you died at game over. Maybe you're in a loop because you got it wrong. It could be. D&B game will never die. FMV. I wish that drum and bass in games didn't die. That was a good era. There were complete PSP downloadable games. The minis were a smaller thing. There were a bunch of Flash game ports. I guess that would be the era for it. Hold on, let me take a sip of my coffee. Good afternoon. Hello, Vanessa-O-Matic. Welcome. This game deserves an HD remake by everyone in your Discord. Honestly, I think that making an FMV game would be super fun. Alright, let's pick up the random piece of paper from under all the leaves. Okay, so we want to go right, right, left, right, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I love this, like, Minecraft, like, dirt digging sound effects. Okay. Yeah? Am I now back at the start? Or... Let's go right, right, left, right from the paper, because it feels like the paper is maybe the starting point. So that's 2 rights, then a left. Is there any musical numbers in this game, like Night Trap? I don't think so. I didn't actually know Night Trap had musical numbers. Honestly, what I saw of Night Trap looked kind of fun. Reminds me of all the best of the worst episodes where their best compliment is, at least they had a set and didn't just shoot in the woods. Yeah, but that's like, that's the real scrappy shit. You gotta respect it. To, like, reasonable extent. Why was the running sound still happening? Maybe that's the killer chasing us. Oh, we did it. Amazing. Hello, Denku is live. This is the Hysteria Project for the PSP. Also on iOS and PlayStation 3. Whoa. We made it to an actual road. With a crazy amount of fog. Okay, we finally have a non-timed choice to make. The riveting tennis racket air guitar scene. And Night Trap? The mean thing was they wouldn't let you play the download PSP games on PS3, but they listed them while you browse the store anyway. I do remember that. I remember the PS3 PlayStation store being like really fucking worthless. Just like just a fucking mess. It's so hilariously bad, and 90s girl song feel. It sounds great. Night Trap is great, though after a few attempts I'd recommend just finishing with a guide. Isn't like there's like the remaster version is like maybe a little bit more playable, right? There's like 80 something things you have to catch, and you can miss 4 to 5 total, but only in very specific scenes. Oh. The remaster is still as unforgiving? Ah. I'm gonna have cake. I hope you enjoy your birthday stream. It's not my birthday. Is it your birthday? Is that why you keep talking about cake and birthdays? Let's go straight here. Oh. Okay, we were killed. You get the strange feeling you've gone in the wrong direction and are completely lost. You carry on running until the last thing you see is a shadowy figure step up behind a tree. Yeah, we retry, yeah. No, it's my grandma's birthday, actually. But happy birthday. Have a chill day. Thank you. You too. Go hang out with your grandma. Have her tell you a story. I'm astounded the master tapes for the Night Trap footage have even existed to remaster in the first place. That's the kind of thing you would imagine would just be destroyed or like lost or something. What did you all get for summer sale on various storefronts? I didn't get anything, actually. The more that like sales come around, the more I'm like, I don't actually want any more games. What is that? A log? Why are we stopping? Oh, there's like the symbol on the ground or something? Oh dear. Let's turn right. Yeah, that's not exactly turning right. That is going right. Okay, why did that happen? Like, or did we get stuck in that little bit of mud on the ground? Instead of buying anything, I got really into Doom WADs instead. That's a smart choice. I think Doom is like the forever game. You could play it forever. I got that Neo. I wonder what you'll think of that. I'm gonna get Cruelty Squad? That was a good game. Didn't you get Nitro Plus Blasters? No, I got that a while ago. Nitro Plus Blasters Heroines Duel. So, I thought that maybe there was the Hysteria Project symbol on the ground. I thought maybe that was, like, telling me don't go this way. Maybe that means do go this way. Some mods are nuts, yeah. Have you ever played, Doom the Golden Souls? That game's awesome. I haven't touched most of the games I bought on the summer sale from like 4 years ago. That's how it goes. They make you think you want this, and you don't. I got Soul Hackers 2 and a visual novel Magical Girl spin-off, since it's only available in English on the Steam storefront. What is it called? Doom the Golden Souls! Yeah, I remember when you played some of that on your stream like a long time ago. You're playing that literally right now? Awesome. Golden Souls is awesome. Those are like one of the best Doom mods. I'm not really sure why this doesn't get us killed. Okay. Maybe we should have like a photosensitivity warning on this. Wow! You see that? Okay, we want to go to the left because I saw the Hysteria Project logo. Let me get that photosensitivity warning up. Make it bigger. Didn't realize this game had so much flashing in it. I've dug a decent chunk out of my Stream and GOG backlog for the past couple of years. There's a bunch of games I have on GOG that I want to play, but like, they're not good stream games. Like, a lot of them that are most interesting are like 50 hours long. I don't know if I really want to get into that. Idol Magical Girl Chiru Chiru. Wow. I'm thinking of getting AI the Somnium Files Nirvana initiative. It seems like a fun time. The Fruit of Grisaia series is very cultured, and by cultured I mean even the all ages version is probably not safe to stream. I think that I have that on my wish list. Can't remember what is it even about though. The last weeks I've been scrolling through the Flashpoint list of all games tagged RPG that seemed interesting and played a bunch. What's Flashpoint? I love that GOG has just like infinite dungeon crawlers on it. Yeah, but unfortunately a lot of them are probably not very good. Or, I don't know, like probably very impenetrable at least. But, I don't know, I want to play Thunderscape, but I don't think that would be good to stream. It seems like it's super long and just like super, like crusty even by my standards. Go straight ahead. Collection of Flash games? Oh. I remember when Flash seemed to be like the most viable way for like indie game devs to like monetize their stuff. Like you could sell your game to like Congregate or something like that, or like Armor Games would publish it. Oh, we want to go left. There were games. The games were... Oh. Why did we get... Oh, we didn't die. We just were scared. Is it going to turn out that we're imagining the axe murderer this whole time or something? What is happening? Are we going to get dragged back to the cabin at the beginning of the game? That's so loud. Is the audio too loud? They tried the grimace shake, yeah. The games were the Rusty Lake Hotel series and Quern. I actually didn't want to play them, so I'm just refusing to buy any more Steam sale games. Oh, I actually want to play them, so you're refusing to buy them until you do. Is Quern like a Myst type game? What is this music? It sounds like so fucking 80s. You play as an assassin who enrolls in a school for students with troubled backgrounds. You end up choosing the girl you want to follow the path of and help resolve her traumas. At least that's the first game. The sequels get all war crimey. Oh. Oh no! Oh, I died. Okay. You didn't manage to escape. The last thing you see is a creepy shadowy figure slip into the room before an axe slips into your skull. Shit! Still check out Congregate and Newgrounds, but they really went downhill with the end of Flash. Like, what do you even do now? Just make like HTML5 games? Seems like those are kind of inconsistent with performance. Really excited for you to get to the part where you write a penny farthing. Is that? I don't think that's gonna happen, obviously. You're so obsessed with those. Kind of stinks that they do not show the kills. Yeah, it seems so like lazy? I don't know why. Maybe they just couldn't figure out a way to like film it and just didn't care. I'm going into them blind. Okay, I see. Perf-wise, browsers can go way beyond what Flash could do these days. The tools for making games are mostly bad, though. There's like Construct, I guess, but like you can export Godot games for HTML now, right? Can't recommend Grisaya without the 18+ content in. I see. I see. I want to play more VNs. Not that it's really a VN, because I would call it an adventure game, but I was playing the Silver Case off stream, which I tried to stream like 2 years ago or something, and it's actually pretty good. I find it pretty entertaining, but I don't know. As I get older, I like text-heavy games a lot more for my own purposes. Unity still does? Oh. Attacked? Pretty sure I would be attacked for writing one, though, which is understandable. Why? Why would anyone attack you? Funny little guy Augersley. Text just gives you so much freedom. Yeah, exactly. And I like how when you have that text, like you have like so few like moving parts and like little, the way that you use like music and sound effects and like the sprites and backgrounds and stuff is like you just have to kind of like reuse them over and over in interesting ways. Alright, I gotta pay close attention or else the axe will like cut our wrist a little bit, maybe. We'll get like bonked, maybe just like a little bit by the axe. Why are they all like in the corner of the screen? What? I don't like what was even happening there? This game is really like the same. Everything is just like this soupy bitrate slop of the woods, and occasionally you have to press some buttons. It looked like the Hysteria Project 2 was like more interesting. Like it had like point and click elements and stuff like that. It seemed to have like just more going on in general. I don't think this game is necessarily bad, but like they really were not doing very much, were they? I didn't even see a run for it. How are we gonna hide? The guy's right there. I think maybe our dude needed to like work out a little bit. Dot's dungeon mostly runs in HTML. Oh, we died. Wounded and beat. You can't outrun the killer. Exhausted. You fall to the ground before passing out. You hear someone grunting and footsteps getting nearer. You hear someone grunting and footsteps getting nearer. You defeated the nefarious door poker. Hello, Ambert. How you doing? For the budget and platform, it's not bad. Yeah. I mean, I think this is kind of cool, personally. Like, it's kind of a slop fest, but I think it's alright. It's entertaining. The enemies walk through obstacles, and the text windows make the screen go crazy in Dot's dungeon. Oh, damn. If Otome visual novels are on the table, I enjoyed Ashen Hawk a lot myself. Fantasy setting with a hint of mystery. You know, I want to play Otome games so bad. I just don't know where to start. I don't know what are good. I was looking at, there's a game called like Nightshade, I think, that's like a ninja Otome game. Look kind of cool. I've heard good things about it. And there's some Otome game on the PSP that was like a similar like feudal Japan setting or something like that. It looked pretty alright. Bugs Bunny hiding skills, duh. You hear grunty. Someone grunty. I just like foggy forests. Don't we all? Did I greet you in Ithaca also? I don't know if I did. Hakuoki is the Shinsengumi one. Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure. Played Sweet Fuse, the Keiji Inafune Otome game, and it was weird and okay. I do not recommend Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly, but Ashen Hawk I liked a lot. Okay, I'll check that out. I don't remember. It's okay. I just like being here quietly anyway. Okay. Ilya streamed a bit of Hakuoki? Oh, she did? Did she like it? I didn't know Ilya plays Otome games. That's cool. Hide. I don't know where we're gonna hide, but... Where are we gonna hide? This seems like we're doing the same thing as trying to run away. The guy was like literally like 15 feet behind us. Not a fan of that style of guys I saw. Yeah, it's kind of like you have to... I think that probably with a lot of Otome games, I'm not crazy about the style, like the drawings. I think that you gotta get invested in like their personalities and kind of like roll your own guy. Let's stay hiding. We stay hiding. Oh, we were instantly killed. Despite being well hidden, you don't imagine for an instant that the killer is following the traces of blood left by your bleeding wounds. Suddenly, you feel sharp pain at the back of your neck before you lose consciousness. No, we were attacked from the front. You could play the Poop Otome game. Emily, you, 47 bootleg. Emily, you, 47 about to get banned. Yeah, you're gonna get more than banned. Hijikata is pretty 10 out of 10? What's that? Otome has two genres. One, everyone hates you and berates you, and two, everyone loves you and is kind to you. I mean, I can see the appeal of both. There's Kitty Love on Switch, an Otome game with a horrifically hilarious translation. Sounds like a good time. I would never say what Emily just said. You don't sound like that at all, Benji, actually. I think Drop told me to play Bad Apple Wars on Vita. Oh, Pond Water. Yeah, the death visuals, it seems like they just wrote the text and inserted whatever. Love to play as a girl, just getting trashed by 7 guys 24/7. They're all like, you are sloppy, you can't cook, you suck, you stink. I'm glad you said that. I was about to be offended. Wait, I selected stay hiding again, didn't I? Oops, sorry. So I'm too engaged in thinking about Otome games. I feel like web games haven't caught up to Flash games because a ton of the more interesting and actiony ones use the keyboard and mouse controls, but you expect web games to work on touch screens. Yeah, I think that the like mobile gamification of a lot of stuff like that is just kind of tragic. I don't know. I don't think I played a single good game on mobile. I think we talked about this like recently, right? And the only one I could think of was like the Steven Universe RPG, which was like just okay. As a trans woman, I'm more for the other genre where they're way too nice to you. I mean, that's nice, but I also like mean, shitty guys. I like both. It's fine to like both. It's also fine to like one or the other. Only. The Shadow Man was like, block this overhead. It's got some bullshit attack that doesn't look like an overhead. Like how Leo's 2D in Strive is like, looks like it hits mid, but it's actually a sweep. Just like, pisses me off so much every time I fight against Leo. Make a makeshift tourniquet? It did say that you thought that the killer was following us by our blood or something. The killer finds you before you can finish making your tourniquet. The last thing you see is an axe swinging towards you. Alright, here we go. I don't know if they make Otome games with Graphite's kind of guy. Okay, listen, I don't only like guys that are like a greasy rat guy. Like pretty much all the boys in Ancient Magus Bride, I would say are my type. Like all of them were cute. Like Alias, the dragon keeper guy, the dog boy, the evil guy. Like they were all good. They're literally like all good. It was like just a whole fucking parade of banger dudes. Graphy, can you get a job narrating serial killer documentaries? Yeah, I'll get right on that. I'll be on a true crime podcast or something. Let's run for it. Even though running for it didn't work before, I'm not really sure why it works here. You should play DMMD? What's that? Dead men must die. Oh, sorry, Vanessa Medic. I've got links disabled in chat. Collar X Malice? I suppose. I don't know what that is. Okay, we have search the pile of leaves. Run, but avoid the pile of leaves. What? Search the pile of leaves. I guess that was correct. What's the flashing? Yeah? What was the flashing and beeping about? I thought it was gonna be like another bomb. Are we gonna throw the bomb at the killer or something? Is this dude wearing gloves? I guess I wasn't fast enough. You search the pile of leaves, but in your weakened state, you make a fatal mistake. You hear a strange noise just before you're engulfed in an explosion. The explosion was really good. Dramatical murder. The number one piece of media getting cancelled on Tumblr for liking 2012. What? It is dramatical murder. Let me look at this. Ew, this art looks so bad though. These guys have got the worst hairstyles ever. Actually, the blue guy, he's kind of got like the lesbian mullet thing going on, kind of like a Tegan and Sarah type of look. But there's like this guy with like blonde hair where he's kind of got like Goku hair, but then he's also got like bangs. It looks really bad. But then there's like a guy who's got a teddy bear. Wait, they've all got teddy bears. I don't know. One of them's got like dreadlocks. I don't know about this one. Man, these character designs are pretty awful. Do you not have a teddy bear? No, I do. I have a stuffed rabbit. By getting sold by the teddy bears. I mean, I don't think that's like a integral part of this whole thing. I don't know though. These character designs are pretty awful. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. I have a stuffed rabbit. Lying by omission. What do you mean? It's all about the blue guy. Yeah, the mullet. We all need that in our life. Might know the frame of the guy in headphones in a bed. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Okay, so that's what that's from. Don't you have like 40 plushies? Yeah. Let me turn around and look at them. I've got a massive Big Bird. I've got a unicorn. I've got an otter. I've got some Beanie Babies, assorted Beanie Babies. I've got like 4 different kangaroos. I've got a little pink stuffed rabbit. I've got a toy of Killua from Hunter x Hunter. I've got a small plush of Patchouli Knowledge from Toho. I've got like a little blue and gray dinosaur. And I think there's also some plushies that are in my closet that I just find them unpleasant, so I keep them in there. But at least they have company. Do you have a Wrinkles Beanie Baby? I don't think so. I have like 2 goats and like a bull terrier and a kangaroo and like a woolly mammoth. Hell yeah, Beanie Babies. They're wonderful. They were good. That was a good trend. My tinnitus, however you say that, is acting up a lot today. As I was listing all of those, every word that I was saying was making my ears ring. It was really annoying. They're developing self-destructive lifestyles in there due to their miserable conditions. No, don't say that. I played a ton of SNES JRPGs, and the only Otome game I played was a bit was Angelique, I think. I didn't get far and wasn't interested in the guys. But I think like all the trans girls who come to my chat are like lesbians though, right? So it makes sense that you guys don't like Otome games. Oh, yeah, the graphics in this game, like the little sprites of the characters look good, but the portraits, I don't like that look. They don't look good. Yeah, the guys, they all look like shit. Man, what is it with like Otome games and having just like shitty looking guys? I like girls in Otome games. Oh. I was just saying in general. I didn't mean you. I wasn't including you in that. Sorry, I shouldn't make such a general statement. I have a fan-made Steven Universe lion with a face like it's from Night in the Woods. Ooh. The child has bad vibes post, but for plushies. Hey, look, I'm sorry. If I don't like the weird, like, otter that has, like, opposable tail and gross fur texture, I can't help it. The guys always look so shitty, but it's also kind of good that they do. You like worst girl games? You mean, like, the Devil? What was that game? We Know the Devil? That? I haven't played their other game. I have several Waddle Dees. Oh, wonderful. You were putting me in there? No, never. Don't worry. But you can't be in my bed because you've got like plastic rings around your tail. Can you show us photos of your evil, fucked up closet plushies? I mean, they're not like particularly bad even. They're just like have bad fur texture and stuff. I like don't want to touch them. Watabo? Who's that? All right, here we are. Searching, like, why is the screen flashing like that? It's so aggravating. We gotta get back to this game. I have Litten, Gengar, and Komasen plushies on random shelves in my room. Ooh. I don't know what any of those are. Oh shit. He has Dinkle, the blue guy from DWM. I don't know what DWM is. They're wooden, but would probably be uncomfortable if you rolled over on me. Wooden? Really? That's a good idea. Wood instead of plastic? When I was drawing that picture of you, I was thinking of them as being like the same kind of soft plastic that they make like a McDonald's play place out of, you know? Oh, Dragon Warrior monsters. Okay. Emily U47 bootleg. What is that? What are you referencing that? Hey Mage, the fucked up plushies are in there with the Toho feet lenticular. Yeah. That's on top of like a box of stuff. I don't want to have that on display in my room. Lenticular Toho feet. I don't think everybody needs to see that at all times. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Ah, I hate this. The what now? Don't worry about it. It's the very bad version of the heck thumbs up. Yes. Okay, I understand now. I have 11 Rem plushies. A Ram plushie from ReZero. A Rem waifu pillow. A Dino Squishmallow. A bunny, some Pokemon, and a Rilakuma hugging a Dango made of bears. Wow. I miss having a body pillow. I don't know who Rem and Ram are. This QTE feels too punishing. It does get pretty fast. Like, you have to press the buttons really fast. And they just appear at random spots on the screen. And when a button appears on the left side of the screen, I kind of instinctively think it's going to be X. And if it's circle, or if it's on the right, I think it'll be circle. Because those are, like, where the buttons are positioned, you know? Like, X is to the left of circle. So, I just keep getting confused. A shelf of retired plushies? The hair-colored maids? Oh, I don't know. With one eye covered? Do they look like, what's-her-face from Idolmaster, kind of? I gotta focus on this. We gotta get past this. Why are we doing this? Why are we even doing this? Ah! I told my insane DMMD friend about what you said, and she said him having a lesbian mullet is a plot point in one of the routes. He has nerves in his mullet, so he can't get haircuts from his stylist, bro. Really? That's pretty good, I gotta say. Why are we digging for forbidden treasure? I don't know. Here, who's Rem and Ram? Okay, yeah, I've seen them. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait. Is this from... Are they from Fate or something? Why do they seem so familiar? Maybe we've talked about this before. Is Idolmaster like Pokemon Master, where it's not a defined position or title at all? Pearl and Dural? Okay, I'm gonna turn off my other monitor. I can't look at chat while I'm trying to do this. Hold on, I gotta focus. We gotta get past this damn QTE. Sorry, I can't see what you're saying. I'm ignoring you guys. I've shut you out of my room. We gotta get past this. I don't think it's the same buttons every time. The vibe instantly changed. I feel like I'm doing a Let's Play now. Oh my god, we did it! Okay, now we have bomb. What? Are you fucking serious? That had to have been the last button press, right? God damn it. Alright, let's try it again. We have to start from here. This must be the final QTE. We just gotta get through this. Why did I have to keep pressing buttons after I was already down on the ground? Okay, we got the bomb. Alright, let's go. Run. Do the QTEs at the bottom of the screen. Oh! I was napping and missed everything from leaf searching. Has it all been this? Yes. It's the entire game now. This sucks. How many times are we gonna see this video? Ah. Oh man. Just before you're engulfed in an explosion. You know, I'm about to be engulfed in an explosion of piss because my bladder is getting pretty full. Why does it stop beeping? I like how he kind of like fumbles it a little bit, but that doesn't make it blow up, even though like messing up the leaves like a little bit made it blow up before. Yes! What was that sound? Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, this was a PSP mini mage. Frankie, Joe, and Dirk on the tiles? What's that? What's going on? Getting a flashback? This music is gonna make me lose it. This definitely looks France right here. I think Benji said it was France earlier. Wow. Really strobing, huh? We really need to do that? What? That's it? That's the ending? Okay, to be continued. Great. Incredible. The biker? The mad runner? The frozen prop woman? Who's that? The hooded killer? The server monsters. The strange pile of leaves as itself. Oh. How much would this have cost? It had to be like less than $10. It's a very deranged Game Boy puzzle game? Uh-oh. Oh no! Dementium-ass ending, yeah. It does kind of remind me of that in a way. Incomprehensibly bad ending. I have no idea what happened. I guess that was how we got captured by the Hysteria Project. Like, we just walked into a building and went into a stairwell, and then the door closed and it said the Hysteria Project logo on it, I guess. QTE to not die in a C4 explosion. Well, I thought this game was like, okay. Like, for what this game is and what it's trying to be, I don't think there's like really anything wrong with it. Like it's not exactly bad. It's just like a quick time event mobile game, so I can't really knock it too much. Now play 2? You wanna play this? You wanna play the second one now? You want that? I guess we can. I already do have it. And it's probably about as short as this, so it can't be long, could it? I want that. Play 2. Okay, I gotta pee first though. If this game was $2, I need to see where this gripping storyline goes. Yeah. Bye, Gruffy. Have a good day. Yeah, you too. Take care, Ambert. Have a nice one. Wow. 2 was $2.49. Wow, I'm expecting some significant improvements then. It wasn't overselling or anything. It was a mini after all. Yeah. I mean, I think this game was just fine. The game is going to be 49 cents better. I'm going to leave you on this menu ambiance while I go flush everything out. All the toxins and liquid out of my body. So give me a sec. Okay, now I'm back. That the face she make when what? I have no idea what are you trying to say? We're just gonna keep the photosensitivity warning up. How about that? Graphite, do you have the coconut dodge? Is this some kind of, oh, I thought it was just like a type of, like a Ligma type of joke you were pulling on me. It's a PSP Mini. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. No. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I posted the P face in your server. Oh. The P face. Warning. They're warning us. Coco Dodge this nuts. Coconut Dodge is very cool. I would never be crass like that. I would never do something like that. Bulky pics. That's what they call my selfies. Hysteria Project 2. There is no save data. I gotta look at Coconut Dodge real quick. Is this loud? Seems like loud. Louder. Sometimes the crab gets a Viking helmet. And he does not need to dodge the coconuts. Well, this looks horrible. Crab the treasure. This looks disgusting. Why are you telling me about this? Bulky Pix has a Wikipedia page, but only in French. Huh. It's a little louder. I'll turn it down a little bit, maybe. There should exist FMV games in VR with 360-degree cameras. The most vomit-inducing game possible. Honestly, I would like that. She doesn't get it. What is there to get? A get. It's the best game on the PSP. You're just doing a bit, Augersley. This is a weird bit. What the hell is this? Coconut Dodge? Coconut Dodge is very cool. That sound effect is like a chainsaw that would be in Halo. It's the best game on the PSP. He can in fact break them. Alright, let's create save data for the Hysteria Project 2. Wow, greatly improved menu. We have options for Emily. It would work. Weird, because you either don't show a body, or show a body and feel like a tiny head in a giant body. We want subtitles on. Nice sound effects. Help? Do we need help? I don't know about that. Actions. In general, you will either need to press the directional buttons or the action buttons. Killer's Notebook. Put the Killer's Notebook back together by picking up the pages from it as you go along. As soon as you see one, press the correct button and it will be added automatically to the notebook, which is accessible from the main menu. Don't hesitate to visit the official Hysteria Project 2 website on Facebook if you get stuck or need further information. I'm sure that still exists and is like well updated. How do we can't access the notebook. You see the part where he bounces the beach ball? That might change your opinion. No. It's still loud? Okay, I'll turn it down a little more. Back to the default volume. Official website on Facebook. New game. That menu sound effect is so loud. In general, you will need to press the directional or the action buttons. Just in general. You will need to do that. Puddle. So I think that actually what happened at the end of the first game was we went back to the city and then we just went into a stairwell that was actually still the Hysteria Project. Right? Because I think this game is more indoors. This is massively improved. Like this looks so much better. Like they look like they put a lot more work into this. Nano Pharma. There's a helicopter. Ooh yeah. We got a big budget for this one. Bulky pics. Bully pics. Belly pics. What was my interpretation? That it was a continuation, not a flashback. Ah. 2. Oh, Lily. How you doing? That gesture? It seems like it got way quieter. This is directed like that one Resident Evil movie. You mean all of them? Whoa. How's it going? The volume could go up. Alright, I'll turn it up again. Goldilocks Emily. Wow, it's Dementium the Ward. Yeah, somebody else said that as well. Dementium ass ending on this game. What? What is that, like vampire? It's just a scorpion? Yep, there's the pile of leaves, the iconic pile of leaves from the end of the first game. Skeleton hands, teeth. Wow, I really feel like I'm going hysterical right now, y'all. What was that? That just like Dracula. A woman? What's going on? The eponymous pile of leaves. It's actually very quiet. It's not just Emily. Please let there be vampires in this. I would like that. I would like that a lot. I don't know what I can do about the volume because it's already like super, like it is set super loud for me. What am I gonna do? Like bass boost it or something? I can barely hear it myself. You're completely exhausted. Hang on. Someone's fucking with the hue slider on our eyes. Oh, Skeleton Witch. How you doing? Bass boosted PSP game, let's go! I mean, hi. Hi. Maybe emulator has separate volume setting? But now it's louder again? This mixing seems weird. Odd. Look at our dude's feet. Why are his toes so white? He go suntanning in ballet flats or something? I think this game just has fucked audio balancing. What, in an FMV game for the PSP? No. Couldn't be. What? Espadrillas. What's that? It's a point and click game! Whoa, you look with the D-pad and you move the cursor with like the, what would be like the analog slider in the PSP. Why does our body look like this? It looks like it's like photoshopped together. We got file. Okay. Huh? We are dead, I suppose. You haven't broken your bonds quick enough. The killer came in and sucked us silly style until we were hysterical. Okay, that's what we needed to click on. Oh, flat, thin shoes, stereotypically French. Oh. You look like that one TNG episode where Beverly dreams she is a cake. I don't think I've seen that one. Do I need to click on it again? Maybe? The killer runs up to you like a puppy. You had to be photoshopped together after the incident. That's how it works. That's what surgery is. You look flat. Yeah, you're looking quite flat today. I like how both games started with us being like bound up like that. I need to log on! I've missed so many posts! This guy doesn't know that Twitter has been rate limited. It's actually not missing that much, but he is missing everyone leaving the site. How much fun do you think a robed guy had when they filmed this? I mean, considering the robed guy didn't really do very much, I don't know, it doesn't seem that fun. I have not run into the limit at all. Yeah, me neither. I don't really look at Twitter like that much anymore, though. All this, like, flickering has got to stop. Okay. Seemed like the killer was, like, right outside the door before. How's the volume now? You can hear the plastic of the camera. Like, did you hear it? Maybe that's just a sound effect. It's a little quiet, but whatever. Okay. Twitter just doesn't load for me at all, and honestly, thank fucking God, yeah. I'm bummed to, like, lose the website where all artists that I've been following for the past forever are posting, but I hate using the website, so... Keypad? Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like 360 panorama. Okay, that wasn't it. Oh, file. Can I look at those somehow? And the sound effect? What am I... Huh? Oh! Oh, the arm! Remember she wrote on our arm. Oh, I had to tap the D-pad.
I've written the code on your arm.
7A5E8 H2B3? Is that what it says? 7A5E8 H2B3? 1? Yeah, it does look kind of angled like that. Can somebody... I'll just type this down into chat myself. This seems very much worth the extra 49 cents. Oh, thank you, Raven. Yeah, I mean, they actually added, like, gameplay? Imagine. This is quite improved, I think. So 1... A 5 E 8 H 2 B 3. You think there's an A at the end? Let's try that. Access denied. Doesn't 7 have a dash? I don't know. Not necessarily. I don't know why they made it so fucking hard to read. Oh, I thought that I couldn't look at my arm again. What? No, you have to tap it. You have to tap it over and over. Why did they make it so hard to read? This rules, does it? I don't know. You can rotate your phone slash PSP. I mean, I'm turning my head to the side, and it's not really helping. I really can't tell what that last character is supposed to be. Oh, I felt dizzy from turning my head to the side. I seriously can't tell what the code is. I'm just gonna look it up, because this is stupid. Production value is off the charts. It might be 0. The last one is 4. Here. I cannot read the code. IGN gave this a 5 out of 10. It says, step into the shoes of the main character and take part in an unforgettable adventure. You know, our guy's not wearing shoes. He does not wear. Smudge is a chat acre. It's fine. You are a dot level woozy. I love that emote. It's so good. We need to download the file and use Adobe Acrobat Reader to read it. I mean, this is a different era. This is 2013. I download the PDF and it's just symbols. What the hell is this, IGN? What the hell is this? Preview? What are you doing? Why do I have to download the file from IGN? Am I gonna get a virus from IGN? I tried to open it and it just opened my lease for my apartment. So I'm really glad that that didn't pop up on screen. So that would have been like the mother of all doxings. Oh boy. That's kind of scary. Alright, let's look at Game Zebo, see if we can find the walkthrough. Graphite Hello social security number reveal! 1 million point redeemed to show your lease. Okay, so it looks like it's 1A5E8H2B3C. I'm just gonna copy that. It's apparently there. It's random. I'm just gonna put that into the chat. I was afraid I was gonna like copy and paste my entire lease like PDF into the chat somehow. All right. Yeah, C apparently. Everybody is mad. The point of the smudge is so you have to guess? But that's stupid. I guess, what are we gonna expect from the makers of the Hysteria Project? 8 H 2 B 3 C. Access Outh. There are like 19 symbols to guess. Oh, it's her. Our friend. I am mad. I'm sorry, 8 lives. What? What the fuck? Such a flash game puzzle. Yeah. It really is. Huh? What? Oh, I have to turn it the opposite direction? This is pretty funny. This is a pretty goofy game mechanic. There was like no prompt for it at all though. Yeah? What? I thought I was doing fine. What's the percentage of people who got this first try, you think? That's a good question. This one is a lot more like the Flash game Allison Drop played with the buzzsaws. What? This is the funniest thing in the world. It's pretty goofy. The first game was so boring, but this is delightful. I think that the first game, it was like kind of like boring. It was like the fun kind of boring, where it's just like, man, this is like mind-numbing. I can't believe someone did this. It's not like the type of like total doldrums boring that some games are. The kind of thing I expect in a David Cage game, but without the prompts, yeah. Bet you had to tilt your phone to do this? Yeah, probably. So it's the big thing about iPhone is like, it's got a gyroscope in it. You could use it as like a level. No, I did it the wrong way. It's so weird because it's not, you don't tilt in the direction you want to lean. You tilt in the direction that you are leaning for some reason. I don't know why. That's the way you gotta do it. Why does it take so long? And it's just like, you're zooming in on like this JPEG. No, 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 no. God damn it. Oh. No, no, no. No. Okay, so it gets brighter when you're closer to what you want it to be equalized at. No, no, no! What the hell? I'm having to like resist it way more now. Oh, we did it. Yeah, the first game was Project Hysteria 1. Please don't make me do the balance again. Are we just gonna be dizzy for the entire game? Oh, can we please stop with the strobing effect? I don't like that at all. The murderer! What? Does he have a big knife? Oh, it's a corpse. Okay. Nice boots. The raincoat killer. Oh, calcium ion. How's it going? What? Okay, we survived. Am I supposed to do something? Oh, we got seen. You need to be more discreet to get to the room on your right. Okay. It must be pretty good. I've never seen an alive raincoat. That's a pretty good one. Okay, am I making a break for it or? Okay. Do I wait for the killer to go past or? We need to get all of the killer's files, of course. What? What? I'm trying to click on the file. Why does it make that sound? It's kind of an attractive hand. All bony. Get to the room on your right. Okay. Love this composition with the close-up blurry hand. Yeah, it's like you can't actually look at anything that's like happening because you need to be more discreet. You can't even look at the FMV. Oh my god. Look at how slender this pinky. I remember this in Dit Premonition. Fozzie Bear saying waka waka whenever you die is great. Waka waka waka. Slender? Like Slendry Man? Okay, that's what we needed to do, I guess. The door was open. I guess we are discreet enough to open the door without making a sound, though. Now we're in the butcher room. Oh, I hope we get first person cut apart. What? Whoa! That effect? Waka waka. It may not be a good idea to run right into 13. What do you mean? Run right into 13? What do you mean? What does that mean? What's that? It's like a little blinking light? Run right into 13. What do you mean? This is not even the same door, I don't think. Continuity error? Hello, Sergio. Yeah, this is an FMV game for the PSP. Oh, I get into cabinet? Okay. I survive. What? What kind of cabinet looks like that inside? This is the Hysteria Project. What? Hello, Yumewaru. Seeing people without being seen or making noise doesn't seem to be your forte. What do you mean? What did I do? Oh, I already have the file, because we got like a save. Am I supposed to like move around during that scene? We played the Hysteria Project 1 earlier. Now this is the sequel. Oh. What? Hello, Sixth House. How you doing? This is some real trial and error bullshit here. I think that this, I might like this less than the first game, because it's just nonsense. Like, ridiculousness. There's like a file up there. What? So you have to move the least? Yeah, but I don't really know how I'm supposed to do that. I think that the problem with this game is that the events are really left so unexplained. So it's like, what am I even supposed to do? Oh! The sound of the door closing is a problem because it makes a clacking sound. Alright. Waka waka waka. Alright, let's try that again. This is kind of incredible, I gotta say. Such a shame when an ambitious sequel becomes victim to feature creep. I mean, I feel like if they tried to keep it the same QuickTime event sludge as the first game, it wouldn't be like I don't think that would be a wise choice, but I don't think this is a very wise choice either. Can't stop laughing at the killer getting you. It is pretty funny. Oh god, this is so hard. No. This is real bad. This is nasty. I hate doing this. God. Please. I got a file? It's gonna turn around. Gotta keep moving the analog stick, but not too much. Not too much. Just enough. Oh my god, please let this end. Oh. Oh my god. God damn, this is so stressful. But like not in a scary way. It's just like annoying. Was that fun? No. It was not fun in the slightest. Oh man. Getting Evil Within flashbacks? I want to play that game sometime. Seems kind of cool. Alright. Okay, so we have this evil glowing. There might have been a file on that screen. Now I'll never know. Uh-huh? Oh, I'm supposed to keep the cursor on the zipper. What's that? Oh no, the evil Bluetooth of the killer. You can't be serious. The Killer's a mixtape. They use this in Pimp My Ride, right? Really? Video games are awesome. Cool game though. I always think that the productions of these games is a lot of fun for the actors. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that this game exists, even if it's annoying to play. What am I, like, supposed to be doing?
If you can hear me...
Oh.
Are you there? If you can hear me... Well done. You've picked up this receiver.
This receiver.
I'll be able to use it to communicate with you. Unfortunately, you won't be able to talk to me. I'm Lisa Spencer. In a nutshell, I'm a scientist. I worked for a private laboratory for many years. All my research focused on nanotechnologies. The aim of my work was to ensure that the human body can tolerate the presence of microscopic machines.
What?
I wasn't actually interested in how nanomachines work, and to be frank, I was far too wrapped up in my research to be interested in what I felt then was just an insignificant detail.
That's the plot of this?
That was my biggest mistake, without a shadow of a doubt. I actually ignored everything about...
Ignored everything about...
Watch out!
Oh. Why does this video seem so much lower quality? And it's like really quiet too. What? What just happened? What was that? I'm not interested in how nano. The heat and smoke have made you lose your balance. What heat and smoke? What are you talking about? Must be cramped doing science in a nutshell. That's a pretty good one. This girl is me, just getting ahead of y'all. I think that maybe he hit something electrical to make a fire? I don't know. Need entertainment while chopping up corpses. If you can hear me. Alright, okay. Ah, no! Not this again. Whoa! Why is everything catching on fire? Why are we going towards the fiery door? I can't see! I can't even tell if I'm tilting the right way. Oh, come on, man. This is this is pretty rotten right here. Yep, zoom in on that video footage of the door. Okay, we won. We are truly miasma streaming.
Definitely must go through this door.
What?
You'll be safe on the other side. Quick!
Are there any files on this screen? I don't see any. Definitely must go through this door. This door? Which door? Oh. Burning hands. My hands burn. Can I move this? Oh. Alright, I did that on accident. I didn't even know that I needed to do that. Oh. What? This doesn't seem very successful. What we're doing here. Look at the flames. Press square to avoid the explosions as you're crawling on the floor. This game is really funny. I can't believe that this is real. X. I hope this game ends with another pile of leaves. This really makes you feel like a cool guy. Yeah, crawling on the floor, dizzy from smoke, with fire just blowing all over the place. Just like animated gifs of fire shooting in from the side of the screen. I can barely tell like what is going on. Anyone else ever watched an action movie? What?
The code is 1B7C5R5E26.
5RE26?
The code is 1B7C5R5E26.
Oh, I missed the... Oh. Oh. How did he just bust through the wall?
The code is 1B7C5R5E26.
No!
The code is
What the...
1B7C5R5E26.
R... Yeah? It's pretty slow.
The code is
5CR...
1B7C5R5E26.
No, I got it wrong again. Oh my god. One...
The code is 1B7C5R5E26.
Okay.
It's not working. It's not working. The codes must have been changed. Try 117. No, not 7. 118. C5. 4. It's not working. ER7, 1178.
Oh, we're dead. Enter the codes given by Lisa as quick as you can. I was trying really hard. I love the generic black debris. Yeah, it's just like CGI that flies in. The most epic Adobe After Effects action possible. This is the best thing ever made by human hands. You think so? I wonder if it lets you go straight to that. I would not I would not expect that. Oh boy. Alright.
The code is 1B75R5E26.
Why is the keypad set up like this?
It's not working. The codes must have been changed. Try 117. No, not 7. 118. C5. 4.
Yes, the killer is coming. Just all that black rocks shooting out. Okay.
ER7, 1178. C54 ER7.
78C.
ER7,
5
1178.
4 ER7
ER7.
ERP. No. Okay, yes. ER7.
ER7. Damn it! Try N1STRYN00B. Quick! N1STRYN00B.
Quick! Like how it said noob at the end.
That was a close shave for you. You should be safe here.
And a decadent
at least
demon
for
soul
the
for me.
moment. You should find a computer in this room. It contains some of the answers that you're looking for. I'll be in touch again later.
Is there any other files in here? Computer? This like with the matrix numbers all over it? Okay, it's actually a map. Am I... Okay, this is just a video. This is people with nanomachines in them? What? Huh? Quick! I don't know why it was quick with only a K. It was literally nice try noob. Wait, really? This woman may be malicious. Nice try noob. Can't he explode doors? And he did explode through a wall earlier. That is true. Oh, that's the computer. This like BBC Acorn or something? What? Oh yeah, I remember we did see a shape like that in the woods. In the first game. It was like some kind of smoke creature or something. That's an oscilloscope, isn't it? Or like a heartbeat monitor? This is kind of cool. These little doodads to look at. It's the smoke from Lost. That's what I thought too.
Name, but I'm afraid that I can't help
Ortega.
you with the password. Logically, he must have used a password connected to some aspect of his private life. Try the names of family, relatives.
Who? What? Yeah, the Lost Smoke was very funny. Goofy ass thing. Relatives? I can look at this thing. Camera. Ortega. Survival horror rules. Safe rooms can resist even a nuke. A room full of nanomachines. Wait, he just appeared. Okay. This? Can I look at that? The flat screen? Red blood cells. I guess those are nanomachines? The particles? Fascinating. They're turning blue. Is this what nanomachines brings? Alright. It's like a microscope? Oh. It's just the same thing. I like that this game has a lot more full motion to its video. Nanomachines. Alright. How am I gonna find Ortega's relatives? Is that an air conditioner? Could I see names on this? Like, were they visible? No, that's like completely unintelligible. Am I supposed to go to the main menu? Because we do have the killer's files. How do I, Okay, the notebook says Ortega. Oh, what? I pressed triangle. Oh, okay. That was how you access the files. Everything's going well. The experiment has been going on for 2 weeks now. Everything's going as well as expected, and I already feel my body is enjoying the first beneficial effects. Just imagine me, who's always favored mind over body, now ready to take on any decathlete. I also have less need for sleep, and my body seems to recover much more quickly. What's even more astonishing is that I seem to have an artistic talent developing in me. I can't stop myself now taking a pen and transferring to paper whatever I see. Are my sensory organs more receptive to external stimuli? That's just some SCP, I'm pretty sure. Really? What's with these sounds? Can I go to page 2? Okay, page 2. Surprising side effects. My body aches. I've got terrible migraines, and that other one is of no help to me. She's slow and doesn't seem to be paying much attention to me. I'm not well. You'd think I got it wrong. Yesterday my eyes were playing tricks on me. I found it difficult judging distances, and everything seemed distorted. This effect only lasted a few seconds, but what's curious is that it doesn't match any classified eye problem. If the effects persist or get worse, perhaps I'm going to have to change protocol. What's happening to me? I'm no longer sleeping, but at the same time, I'm losing consciousness, according to my so-called assistant. This apparently happens to me 3 to 4 times a day. I feel as if my insides are going to explode. I've stopped the experiment for 5 days now, and the effects are continuing, and even getting worse. I've even got pigmentation defects on my skin, with cysts and unusual nodules on my epidermis. The dermis also seems to be affected. I asked that idiot to carry out an analysis on me, but she says it's nothing in particular. My whole body is causing me agony, and she says it's nothing. Nothing! My condition should have been improving. I hate her! There's something not quite right here. Was there text to scroll down before? Oh yeah, I'm very tired, too tired. Maybe it's time to stop. Did this have more text? I need to look into that. My assistant also tells me that my heart rate has speeded up slightly. Nothing to worry about. She's always tended to jump to conclusions a bit quick with results down to her lack of experience, no doubt. Okay, let's go on to page 4. I can almost no longer move. Only my right hand doesn't let me down. Now, you can still crank it, I guess. I'm hungry. mRNA. Thinking about feeding the fruit flies? See almost. She's up to what? Failed electrophoresis. Lisa. She's my problem. C5. 4N. C5H4. N4. It's like carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen? Maybe that's the code. I don't fucking know. I'll write this down. Thirsty. Nano. this arm. Help me! Police. Lisa. Police. Lisa. Okay, we don't have that yet. He tried to invent a new type of Viagra and it backfired hard. My goodness. Killers? Oh wait, I already read that. It's the Enhanced Olympics? What's that?
That was a close shave for you. You should be safe
Oh,
here. At
the
least
files,
for the moment.
we didn't actually get them.
You
They
should
weren't
find a
at the
computer in
main
this room.
screen.
It contains some of the answers that you're looking for.
Oh, another microscope? It's just the damn blood cells again. Alright. This predicted 5G COVID vaccine. Let's see, maybe it's that C5H4N4.
Login.
There's not even numbers on here. How am I supposed to know what his family's names are? What? Can't look at that. Can't look at the brain chart. Wait, what's this? What am I looking at over here? Oh.
Gustavo Ortega, Monday, November 22nd, 2010. First experimental session, 11:10 p.m.
He's 61?
Following acceptable results from our previous hosts, I am taking responsibility for being the carrier. My profile, male, 61 years of age, 5'7" and 145 pounds.
This is so long.
No illnesses or allergies. In good physical shape. I am starting the protocol by injecting myself with 5 cc's of the solution. After 10 minutes, there is no sign of intolerance or other external signs. I inject another 5 cc's intravenously.
This is gonna go on for so long.
It's 11:52 p.m. That's 42
Well,
minutes after
dipshit.
the first injection.
Welcome.
Feeling slightly tachycardic. Defined increase in lymphocytes, 5.4 milliliters. Strong fever with a temperature of 41 degrees Celsius and no impact on the subject.
Isn't
Bizarrely,
40
he's
degrees
doing very
Celsius like over 100?
It's
Fahrenheit or something?
11:58 p.m. and the strength test is giving abnormal results. Confirmation on the press action. My physical capabilities have increased in less than an hour by 226%. Tuesday, November 23rd, 8:23 a.m. According to my assistant, I lost consciousness straight after the second strength test.
104. Wow.
Slight double vision. The FBC indicates thrombocytosis, 645 milliliters. Attempt at cytoreductive treatment using chemo. 12:05 p.m. Partial left side paralysis of upper and lower limbs.
Wow.
Possible correlation with the morning's injection. I am moving on the second experimental session with my assistant's consent.
This is so long.
12
Oh, we're almost at the
p.m.
end.
I inject 10 cc's intravenously and administer 500 milligrams of 2 nanostrains twice. 12:10 p.m. All the control instruments are going mad. Bizarrely, the paralysis has subsided and my body seems to have been rejuvenated. The decision is made to put me under observation for 12 hours. Wednesday, November 24th, 0:15 a.m. I have a strange sensation in my throat and considerable problems with my vision, including even temporary hallucinations. I almost can't see further than the end of my fingers.
The enhanced Olympics are Olympics with no disqualifications
They
for
seem
doping?
to be floating. No more sense of touch. Can't get back any feeling in the nerves at my fingertips.
The self-harm Olympics. Jesus Christ.
Can you turn it off?
We didn't learn anything that we might be able to use as a password. He's turning into a creature. That's basically been the temperature where I am the last week. Damn. It's gonna get hot here next week, I think. I'm not looking forward to that. Okay. That's that. That doesn't get us any closer to figuring out how to use this computer. Just got here from the Hysteria Project forum. Hello, Graphite, hello. Don't be afraid to ask if you need any Hysteria tips. Thank you, Mr. Pig. Welcome. No, we don't want to look at the microscope. You just heard this guy's jerk-off log. Can't just leave that lying around. I have no idea what to do. We've been stuck on this room for so long. Oh, garbage can. I love Mr. Pig nasal voice. Oh. Oh. Yeah, we got a jigsaw puzzle. Huh. Can I rotate this at all? Or am I just looking for one particular piece of something here? What? I like how... Oh, okay. That's what I'm doing. You have to rotate using L and R. This looks like it probably goes here. Maybe not? Seems kind of like glitchy. Love in sci-fi when a scientist experiments on themselves and leaves an audio log that ends in their anguished cries. It's a classic move. I picked up the document before going to the journal menu, so we couldn't actually read them then. I'm using my mouse and pretending I'd grabbing these two. Wow. Yeah, L and R rotates, but it's like you have to have like the piece selected in order to do it. So, oops. This one looks like Alabama. Alright, so I think that this is probably about right. Like this here. Those gotta connect together. It's really hard to move these around. It's like painful. Maybe this goes here. No. Here. Because this one, it seemed like this like kind of locked into the corner when I put it in the correct place. Oh, did that just do it? Is this a dog? Sure looks like it. What the hell? I bet we're gonna see like the name on the dog's collar or something, and then we'll know the password. Great, Duke. Okay, that's a pretty fun puzzle. Can someone post that one dog sniff emote? I like that emote that Dot has started using. That's like that dog with the that's like putting its nose up to the camera. Hello, Fire Mountain. How you doing? Duke. All right, let's do it. Let's log in using Duke. This guy made his dog's name the password. How could he be a bad guy? Even if he is trying to kill us. The Babadook. Oh boy. Photo 1. He's got a murder board. Nano Pharma PDF reader. Oh. Gustavo Ortega kidnapped by pirates. This is really hard to read. Are we really supposed to read this? This news is unbelievable and has upset the entire scientific community. The Lady Blue, the yacht of... Why did I say it like that? It's because I've been studying German. I see that and I want to say yacht. Of the famous Professor Gustavo Ortega has been attacked by pirates while it was cruising off the coast of Barbados. A distress signal was picked up on July 15th at 2:35, not February. July 15th at February, yeah. It took the rescue services 4 hours to reach the boat. According to eyewitness reports, the craft had bullet marks almost everywhere on board, and the signs were that the boat had been ransacked. Everything on board was a complete mess. It looked as if a tornado had passed through, explains Sergeant Ruiz, a member of the Maritime Intervention Unit. The only positive to come out of this sad affair is that there was absolutely no sign of blood anywhere. This indicates that no one got injured when the vessel was boarded, leaving us to assume that a ransom demand will follow imminently. The incidents of pirate attacks increased over these last few years in this area. There's Ortega. Kidnapped because of Project H? I gotta, like... It's really hard for me to read this. More than a week has elapsed since the disappearance of the famous scientist, and the mystery deepens. No ransom demand has been made as yet, and none of the other boats which were cruising around the waters around the Lady Blue noticed any suspect vehicle about. Members of Gustavo Ortega's family have disclosed that just recently the scientist seemed to be particularly nervous and more paranoid than ever. I guess he was normally paranoid then. Distrusting everyone. The editor tried to contact the Nanopharma laboratory, which employs Gustavo Ortega. A spokesperson for the lab was reluctant to express an opinion or answer our questions. An unnamed source from the inside the lab told us that Gustavo was working on a particularly sensitive project, which he managed alone with his assistant, Miss Lisa Spencer. He was about to make a significant breakthrough, but no one knows exactly what kind of research he was involved in. The only thing we know is that his work, which went by the name of Project H, received an endless flow of funds from Nanopharma's board of directors. This information leaves us baffled when you realize the genius potential of this scientist. Was Gustavo Ortega on the point, once again, of turning the entire scientific community upside down? This may lead us to wonder what is behind Project H, and whether this project is not... I can't really read that. It's like cut off, linked closely or tenuously with the disappearance of Gustavo Ortega. Jesus Christ. What if the password was named after the dog and the dog's name was Password? Wi-Fi password? Very strange dog image. This is very goofy. Why is there so much lore in this game? This is odd. Odd developments here. Am I, like, supposed to be able to read these? Like, why are they so tiny? Can I zoom in? No. Professor Ortega's assistant killed in car accident. The Nanopharma laboratory has once again been the recipient of bad news. After the disappearance of the eminent Professor Gustavo Ortega on July 15th last, we have regrettably learned that the scientist's assistant has just lost her life in a terrible car accident. Last night around 3 o'clock in the morning, Miss Lisa Spencer left her laboratory to return home. It wasn't unusual for this workaholic to leave work at such a late hour. She was the only person whom Gustavo Ortega had agreed to work with since 2003. It must be said that this young woman's career was impressive, to say the least. At the age of only 32, she had already started making major advances in the field of neurology and in treatments for conditions affecting the brain and peripheral nervous system. She was driving along a road that was completely familiar with when she lost control of her vehicle, which hit the bottom of a ravine after falling more than 100 meters? The hell kind of ravine is that? The vehicle was so badly burnt that the police could only identify the young assistant's body from the car registration plate and a few items of jewelry.
Swell-timed pool is approaching with 14 creatures.
Hey G-Pool, how's it going? Little sound boy QQ. Wow. Jax TV. Welcome. How you guys doing? Thank you for rating. We're playing the Hysteria Project for the PSP. Yeah, we're reading a newspaper right now. Gaudian heroes. Gau. How was the game? Did you like it? There's a plus and minus at the top left. Maybe it's set dressing? Oh, hey, you're right. Oh my god. The vehicle was so badly burnt that the police could only identify the young assistant's body from the car's registration plate and a few items of jewelry which members of her family recognized as belonging to Miss Spencer. Tiredness and lack of attention are probable causes of this terrible accident, and the police chief reminds all motorists. That game is very hard but very good. How's this funky little thing? I mean, it's kind of ass, but like also kind of fun. We access hard disk. I can't even mouse over that. This is like a FMV kind of point and click type of game. I think it was made on iOS originally, but then it got ported to PSP. Ortega file. Do I have to read a whole bunch more text? Police Department confidential document for internal use only. Profile of Professor Gustavo Ortega, surname Ortega and first name Gustavo, date of birth March 20th, 1949. Eminent scientist credited with the numerous scientific advances. His research focuses mainly on the brain, artificial intelligence. Since 2001 nanotechnologies, Gustavo was exceptionally gifted and withdrawn child who grew into a cold, direct, dictatorial adult with an overinflated ego. He is renowned among the scientific community just as much for his angry outbursts as for his numerous discoveries. For a number of years, the only person he has been working with is Miss Spencer. Former colleagues say that they admire the scientist in him, but have very little time for the man. Obsessed with his research, which totally disregards ethics. As head of Project H, she is potentially linked to the events that took place in the forest. Especially as his disappearance in July 2006 left a lot of unanswered questions. Why was there no ransom demand made? Why has no body been found? Why was there no trace of the alleged pirates? Most of the game is not this computer. We just cracked the code to get into this computer by assembling a torn up photo of a dog that was in a garbage can, which we got the password from. Spencer file. Born in Paris in 1974, Lisa is the daughter of Paul Spencer, the U.S. ambassador to France, and the former top French model Cara Béguart. It's very difficult to obtain even the minimum of information about Miss Spencer, as her father has made so many contacts and his influence is so much that few are willing to say anything. Lisa is a headstrong woman who does not seem to let anything get in her way. The few friends whom we were able to contact during our investigation all agreed that, although Miss Spencer initially seems cold and distant, she is able to show warmth and boundless generosity once you have gained her trust. Lisa Spencer was an internationally renowned scientist who had been working with the Nanopharma laboratory for many years. In 2002, she joined the team of the famous Professor Gustavo Ortega and became his assistant. Throughout 2003, she was the only person with whom the scientist was willing to work. Professor Lisa Spencer tragically died in a terrible car accident on July 26, 2006, and we were extremely interested in Miss Spencer because the circumstances surrounding her death remained very bizarre. She died suddenly just a few days after Gustavo Ortega's disappearance. This coincidence is more than perturbing. Were there people who wanted to get rid of these scientists to get their hands on the results of their research? Finally, why did the victim in the forest have a photo of Spencer and Ortega on him? Why do they have this on their computer? What?
You need to get out of here.
Oh no,
quick.
green gas.
Now, quick! The security system will try to neutralize you with a paralyzing gas.
Neutralize you with a paralyzing gas. Hate when I'm neutralized with a paralyzing gas. We didn't get to read or watch the videos on there. The security system will try to neutralize you with a paralyzing gas. Guys, what are we gonna do? I'm feeling the effects of the paralyzing gas. Oh boy. So funny how much more ambitious this game is. Didn't they come out the same year? That's what somebody said. Green gas! You were getting hotboxed. Oh no. That happens so often. It's too bad we didn't get to see those video files. Maybe we can just... I think that if we die here, it might just take us back to the beginning of this gas. This game is a gas. I don't know if I can agree with you there. It's pretty entertaining, but I think the first game might have been, like, better. Is it this? This just looks like a mixer. What? What am I supposed to do? Oh, that?
Break each of the chipped pins to cause a short circuit.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Oh, I got electrocuted. What? Strange. What happens if I just keep getting electrocuted? Okay, I did it. Great. Oh, hope you don't get neutralized by the effects of the paralyzing gas. We narrowly escaped being neutralized by the paralyzing gas, or paralyzed with the neutralizing gas. Or are we gonna have to do the dizziness thing again? Oh, here comes the killer. Who I guess is
Don't move.
Ortega? What?
We haven't seen the last of the security system.
What?
Access to the lower floor is protected by invisible lasers that can cut through you like razor blades.
Yeah?
Wait a couple of seconds. I'm going to change their frequency to make them visible. Then I'll be able to deactivate them remotely. He's coming back. You've no option. You've got to try and go forward. Avoid the lasers. Jump. Bend down if you need to, but do it quick.
Jump? I'm sure this is going to be really fun. Whoa! Whoa! What? I pressed square. This being on the PSP of all things is so funny. Yeah, it was on iOS originally, but it did get ported to the PSP. This game is pretty good. What? Waka waka. Oh. Okay, so I move with the D-pad here. Usually it's the analog stick. This is kind of cool. Jump? What am I supposed to... What? I press up, maybe? Oh! That was the item! Wait, we gotta die. We gotta get that folder. We gotta know all of the lore. I bet it's up in true Eurogame style. I always liked when AVGN would say how much he hated up being jump in games. Oh. That is a very Eurogame type of jump right there. The straight fade to game over with no death video is so funny. Yeah, I mean, even the first game had like a bit more in that regard. That is quite a jump. It's like jump where your character hits their head on the ceiling. Oh. This is extremely funny. I think this might be a good game, but also kind of a bad game. Something doesn't look quite right about the way that the lasers are drawn on top of the background. A ton of Flash games I've been playing use up to jump. Luckily, I played them with joy to key. That's smart. Smart decision. The timing is really hard. Oh my god. This is so $2.49 core. It truly is. Imagine having to work here. This hallway is infinite. It is going on for quite a while. I don't know why they need this hallway to be this long. Where does this lead to? Are we underground or? Ooh. Oh no. No! Oh my god. Do I have to start all the way over? Oh no. That's not good at all, is it? I'm not real happy about that. Oh. Why you shouldn't have Hysteria Project 2. Oh man. Oh boy. Oh. Getting Shenmue 2 flashbacks? Yeah, but those were like kind of fun. Those are like fun QTEs. Like, they're reasonably fun. They're not completely miserable. Oh boy. At least we would have had Ryo's dulcet tones. Well, what do you need Ryo's voice for when we have... Those sound effects are really funny. This is extremely funny and goofy. I thought I pressed up! Waka waka! Oh boy, how long do you think we're gonna be here for? I can't even tell if we're getting that file or not. It's kind of like hard to tell how close you can get to the lasers before you have to move or duck or jump. It's vague. Ooh, boy. Hey, Mocha, what's up? What this nonsense? Is the FMV game over? No. This is the FMV game. It's just 3D right now. Went to do the dishes and now you're dodging lasers. This game has everything. Oh yeah, it does. They just... People probably complained, the last game was just QTEs? You gotta put more in. Yeah, this is a PSP game. It was apparently on iOS first, though. This game was inspired by the Resident Evil movie. So it's reminiscent. I'm just imagining that, like, when we duck down, we're, like, compressing this guy's stomach and he's, like, getting kind of sick from it. It's like the sound of him trying not to barf. This is really what I needed after playing Bloodborne. Like, this is exactly what I was hoping for. Alright. Probably swipe controls, yeah. Ugh. Ooh, boy. It's pretty rough here. I'll keep doing my best though. Try to avoid the lasers. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I was kind of trying to intuit my way through it. I wasn't really trying. Wasn't giving it 100%. I can't really communicate to you how awkward the timing is for this. Also, the fact that we are swaying left and right constantly is not really, like, helping me to, like, be able to judge my position and stuff. And, like, the lasers, like, you can see they're kind of, like, it looks really weird. Like, it looks like they're drawn on top of, like a video or something. Like, they don't quite fit in with the background, and I don't know why. No! No! You can't be serious. This is not fair. This is not fair at all. Whoa! Oh, I get to start from this part. Okay, I take it back. It's fair. What the fuck? At least there's a checkpoint. That's nice. The room and the lasers are moving at slightly different speeds than each other. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on with it. And try to avoid the moving lasers as well. Long ass challenge. Yeah, this is the gauntlet. I wonder if this is the final area. Oh, they changed. They're randomized, I think. This might be the funniest game you've ever streamed, really? You think so? Duh, what am I supposed to do about that? Is there a 3? I don't know. There was only 1 and 2 on PSP. So I'm not really sure if there's more to the saga of the Hysteria Project. What am I supposed to do there? I have to go through the middle? You think? Oh, waka waka. I could hear like a siren. It lines up right as you pass through. It looks really narrow to me, but I'll try. I don't think it's lining up. Maybe I'm just not seeing it quite right though. Maybe I'm just a little off center or something. Oh boy. At least I don't actually have to do much here. Oh, hey, you were right. Waka waka. No! I'm doing this for you guys. Hope you appreciate it. Yeah? Ah. There was like files there. Me? Yeah, just for you. That emote, I love that. Fastest cardboard. This is some real avant-garde pacing. I appreciate it, thanks. And you guys are gonna do all my chores for me, right? To pay me back for playing Hysteria Project 1 and 2. This is the arduous life of your entertaining big sister. Get the fuck out of town with this stage. It's a bit ridiculous. Now that I've like got it down, it's really not that bad. I think that this section might actually be less bad than the first one, just because it's like, I don't know. It's just not as bad somehow. This is like more tolerable. Maybe I've just gotten used to it though. Try to avoid the lasers. That's all you need to do. These literally don't make sense. How the hell do those lasers move on the walls? Yeah. Or moving on like the ceiling? Don't miss the items. I'm trying. We will dress in maid outfits and do all your chores. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That meets run animation is very good. I now see why they chose not to have a death animation. It would be too much with how rapid the deaths are. It would drag things out a bit more. You are now ready for Battletoads Turbo Tunnels. I don't think that I want to be ready for that. I agree to these terms. I think that trying not to miss the items is what is getting me killed. Alright. I wonder, they call this the Hysteria Project because it will make you hysterical IRL, and they'll put you in an asylum like a unruly woman in the 1920s. Alright. Files. I don't know if I got them. Oh my god, is that the end of it? Ooh. Ooh, boy. Oh, man. Who? Whoa! What a reward for that hallway. I am so happy. Oh, yeah. Oh, holy spokes. This is the Hysteria Project 2. I love this game. I was afraid these games were going to be too short or too boring and I would have to stop. No, not at all. This owns. Oh, now we're in the really fucked up part of the abandoned asylum, mental facility, etc. Now we're in Dementium, the ward. F3R. What? Files missed. Fuck you, do it again. No, please. Please, no. Remember how I was right about going through the middle? Yeah. You deserve some praise for that. You're the only one who doesn't have to do my chores. Oh, Fear 3, yeah. F3AR. What about Drive 3R? The third driver game. Smoke. Sure. Whatever. You can bring the axes with you in the smoke? To be continued? Was there ever a third game? Do I still get put in the maid outfit? Yeah, sure, if you want. Fantastic Four being Fan 4 Stick. Forevermore makes me happy. Incredible. I'm not finding mention of a third. I wonder why. Wait! Wait, no! I collected all those! What are these? What? Where did I miss files? I mean, it's just, there's like a pentagram and like the all-seeing eye, some scribbling. There's Liz as like a ghoul. How did I miss so many documents? I could have swore I got all those. This is what happens to your lungs when you smoke. You turn into a smoke monster? I better go get a fresh pack. Strange drawing. They made such a leap in tech from the first, yeah. I think that the first one was oddly like more enjoyable. Like I think this laser hallway is kind of incredible in a way. But I think that the mind-boggling series of QuickTime events where you had to dig through a pile of leaves to find a bomb so that you could run down the road while still doing QuickTime events, and then hide the bomb in a different pile of leaves, and then go lay down and continue doing QuickTime events so that the killer would get blown up. Like, I thought that was like a better climax. We didn't even get credits. Are there credits on the main screen? Yeah, there's credits. Who's responsible for this? They did make a lot more mobile games. The French government had participation in this. Wow. The story continues in the Namco RPG Tales of Hysteria. Yeah, this is a very French game. French FMV. So there's not a third game? That's sad. What are their other games like? Like, okay, say what you will about this game, but like, at least they clearly had like a vision. And if they went on to make just like shit mobile games, you know, just like generic like time-wasting games, I would be sad about that. Should play that other Fallen FMV? I thought that it's like bad. I heard that it's not good. How did it take this many artists to make this? What, isn't it apparent? With all the artistry on display in this game? I don't know, it seems obvious to me. Frankly, they should be lauded for using as few artists as they did. Oh man. Well, it's too bad we don't get any resolution to the story of Gustavo Ortega, who became a serial killer axe murderer that can turn into smoke, and took our main character to the woods for some reason. I don't know. Well, whatever then. Great. I can't believe there's no third game. How could they give up on this? And how did we miss so many files? Okay, so it looks like it says there was a file that was in front of the door under the bed, in that where the door was on fire and we had to run the bed through it. And pages 7 and 8, there was one under the laptop and one to the right of the laboratory chair. Did we only get one there? I don't know how I missed all the files in the running part. There should have been an indication if you got it or not. I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I want to believe that there's a third game. According to Google users, it says 95% of people liked this video game. And how could they not? Chris Hall of 148 Apps was impressed, scoring the game 3.5 out of 5. He praised how the game was shot, comparing it to the Blair Witch Project, but felt that the gameplay was repetitive and the game itself too short. It was not shot like the Blair Witch Project. I mean, if the only point of comparison you have is that the camera shakes around in the woods, I guess. The company seems to have closed. Maybe the minds behind this game will return. And give us something to be scared of once again. Person watching their second horror movie. Alright, so we're gonna take a quick break. I gotta pee. I gotta pee really bad. So you'll have a little music for a minute. Maybe they've been working on 3 all this time. It'll be a VR game. It'll revolutionize the industry. My. We can only hope. Here's my conclusion based on these events. And then they fucked. I assumed it was just a runner game. No, it was like an FMV game with like point and click elements, I guess. They made a game called Goblins, and it has a sequel. They are DOS games. I think I've heard of that. That was this company? What? We are blessed to have witnessed such an incredible piece of art. Yeah, I'm glad that I found this. I'm glad I found this game. But yeah, hold on. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. And then we'll play Devo Presents The Adventures of the Smart Patrol, which I'm sure will come nowhere close to achieving the heights of Hysteria Project 1 and 2. So yeah, hold tight if you're gonna hang around for that. I'm back. How are you guys doing? Are you having a nice Sunday? A nice relaxing Sunday with your big sis and the Hysteria Project on Twitter? PSP, not Twitter. Wow. No, but the stream is good. Oh, I'm glad. You have returned! I am right here. Right in front of you. They made a game called Twin Blades, The Reaping Vanguard. A side-scrolling action game about a cartoon with a big scythe? That sounds awesome. Twin Blades, The Reaping Vanguard. Whoa! Wait, I saw this when I was looking at all the PSP games. This is the same dev? Oh, it looks pretty mobile game now that I'm seeing like the screenshots. Also, why are the screenshots are all like really bad quality? Oh, this was on Xbox Live Arcade? The nun is kind of cute. Cool. Well, she looks pretty basic, but you know, it's better than nothing. Looks like you kill zombies or something. She has a gun. This is the same developers, apparently. You bought this as a kid? You play this. Oh, same publisher, not developer? But the publisher was the developer, I think, on the Hysteria Project 2 at least. Nah, it is a fun game. I played it, didn't like it because it was very basic, like the most bare bones beat 'em up. Oh, that's too bad. I feel like I smell bad. I need to shower. No jump attacks, no grabs, no combos. Oh, I guess it's probably because it was like a mobile game or something. Yeah, it's just publishers. Oh, well. Let me put out the notification that we are going to be doing Devo. I bet this game is going to be real rancid. It's going to be just putrid. And I guess I'll put a notification on Twitter if anybody even is going to see that. I think this is the first time we've used Windows 3.1 on this layout, right? Remember that period where I played all those Windows 3.1 games? That was a nice time. Right, window capture. Where is that? DOS box. Do I have like a capture for that? I have so many different captures. Okay, yeah, that does, it seems to be targeted at DOSBox. So let's get that open.